busy. Oh, it's a bit bonuses. Holy shit. Oh my god.
Who's that? What the f***?
He's out there, him.
What the f***?
What the f*** is going on there?
Oh my god, what the f***? Oh
Nah,
no,
he's
I
dead
don't know
then.
if that's funny, me video and that.
No, he's just killed a few people, you know.
Why there's a sound of evening and doubles girls? Not good evening actually. Apologies for the sound. Alright. Not really a lot going there. Good evening, John Boys Girls. Apology, Based Amy here. I'm a little bit behind. It's Monday, Bank Holiday Monday, Memorial Day Monday, the 26th of May, 2025. Based Amy coming to you live from the south of England. Very tragic event seems to have taken place, or not seems to have. It's taken place in Liverpool, where a man driving his car rammed into people. Let me just see if I can find now. Quickly, the footage is taken down everywhere, or it's blurred out. And I just need to tell you that I have
a 53-year-old,
and they're going to make sure it's a white British man who's done it. Look, I'm going to tell you, we know who it was. We know what the ideology is, and I don't have to spell it out. But the media is going to say, of course. Now, if they say a white British man, but don't speculate, then we know what the situation is.
Old white British man has been arrested after a car drove into a crowd of fans celebrating Liverpool's Premier League victory parade. Emergency services, including an air ambulance, swarmed to Water Street in the city centre after receiving calls just after 6 p.m. The car collided with multiple pedestrians who were part of the celebrating crowds before stopping at the scene, police said. An air ambulance rushed to the scene and landed near...
Wait a minute, what did it say? So just so you know, apparently today Liverpool was celebrating its winning of the Premiership, the league, making it to the top, being at the top of the Premiership. As you know, with the world we live in and the attitude that I have, I couldn't give a rat's behind about Liverpool's football or any other football, any other sporting event really, quite frankly. And judging by the throngs, thousands upon thousands of people were lining the streets in rubbish weather, waiting or watching the bus go by with the, I don't know if they have a trophy or not, I don't know. And yeah, not a surprise. Family Low's not surprised to hear about this, but somebody. Well, the thing is, I've got footage. I'm going to try and show you as much footage as I can get hold of, because as quickly as footage goes up, it gets taken down, and the media spin is whirling like a top to try to deflect from the reality of the jihad that is obviously taking place in this country, and the protection that the Islamic Jihad has by the government of this country. And just so anybody knows, in case they're listening from Popo or the government, I have a right under Article 29J of the Public Order Act 1986, Section 3, Chapter 64, to declare my full and passionate feelings about my antipathy to the ideology of death. And it's struck again on this 26th of May, when people are having a good time in Liverpool, and a man drove his car intentionally, not by accident. It wasn't oops, slipped on the accelerator. So let's hear what the fake stream media says first about it. And again, it's Memorial Day weekend in America. It is Bank Holiday Monday, May Day. We have a bank holiday here. It's not our Memorial Day. I don't know what today is. I don't quite know why it's a bank holiday, but here we go.
After a car drove into a crowd of fans celebrating Liverpool's Premier League victory parade. Emergency services, including an air ambulance, swarmed to Water Street in the city centre after receiving calls just after 6 p.m. The car collided with multiple pedestrians who were part of the celebrating crowds before stopping at the scene, police said. An air ambulance rushed to the scene and landed near the Liver building, with numerous police cars, ambulances and fire engines.
This is the vehicle here, obviously. And it didn't stop. I think that unfortunately the number of people that it was on top of made it stop. He couldn't go any further because the bodies were in the way. I'll see if the footage is there.
Lining the streets. Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer said the scenes in Liverpool are appalling. My thoughts are with all those injured or affected, adding that he was being kept updated on developments and asked that we give the police the space they need to investigate. A Merseyside police spokesperson said, "We are currently dealing with reports of a road traffic collision in Liverpool city centre. We were contacted at just after 6 p.m. today, Monday the 26th of May, following reports a car had been in collision with a number of pedestrians on Water Street. The car stopped at the scene and a male has been detained. Emergency services are currently on the scene." A spokesperson for the North West Ambulance Service said NWAS is supporting an incident in Liverpool city centre following reports of a road traffic collision. We are currently assessing the situation.
So this clock says 25 past 6. So it had happened, well, around 6 o'clock. So 20 minutes before this.
And working with other members of the emergency services. Our priority is to ensure people receive the medical help they need as quickly as possible. Footage from Water Street shows a heavy police presence.
Okay, I'm going to see what I have before. I mean, I'll let you know. I've downloaded all the videos that I could get my hands on, because as is normal in today's world of the fake stream media news, the control narrative news, they depending on the situation. Hopefully I'm not signed out of X. Hold on a second. They edit it, and they also blur so that you don't see what's going on. Save that one, but let me see bookmarks. Let me just see. Right. Okay, now. Alright, so here we have the footage. I'm going to play it as quick as I can because, as I said, the footage will be taken down, altered. So I'll start from the first video that I saw. Well, first video I saw was this one. Now be careful, it is this one hasn't been blurred, so all videos after this were blurred. Alright? This one hadn't been blurred yet, I don't think.
Oh, it's a bit bonuses. Holy shit. Oh my god.
Who's that? What the fuck?
He's out there, him.
What the fuck?
What the fuck's going on there?
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Nah, he's dead,
I don't know if
then.
that's funny me video in that.
So he's just killed a few people, you know.
The language is so bad. Anyway, my ex is Amy Awakened One, at Amy Awakened One. So I'm going to show the Macron thing in a minute, where his boyfriend, smacked him in the face as he was coming off the plane. course, that's going to be covered up as to why he shoved him in the face. I'm just going to grab more footage. Now, this is, again, it appears had already done, I don't know how he got this far in the car, but he'd already got to this point and had somehow slowed down, and then he accelerates again.
Oh my God! What the fuck? Oh no! What the? Oh my God! Allah! Oh my God! Oh my God! What the fuck? Fucking kill him! Kill him! Kill him! Fucking kill him! Kill him! Kill him! Kill him!
If anybody tries to say it was an accident, then you can play them this clip, because there's no way he'd also been. I won't play that again. You can replay it if you'd like, because it's very distressing to see the people flying off the car. But the car stopped because there were too many bodies in front of it. It had hit too many people, and it just piled up.
Oh, it's a bit
That's one person got smacked.
Oh shit! Oh my God!
And then he intentionally drove into that crowd. And he'd been doing it before. I don't know how many people were hit before this particular incident, but people were already smacking on the car. Let me just see if I can get some more. Here. No, this was after it had been stopped. It was after it had been stopped. Or it stopped. This says some maniac just ran everyone over. People stuck under the car. Got absolutely battered. Car doors ripped off. Now, I say, the only reason why the car stopped was because, unfortunately and tragically, the bodies were under it. So it couldn't actually go any further. And I could guarantee you that he would have continued driving. This is, without any shadow of a doubt, it's such an insult to suggest that it's a white British man who did this. No white British man could ever do anything like this, ever, unless he's a convert to Islam. That's it. This is a common weapon of choice. It is. Factually, I'm giving factual information about the jihad that is going on in this country, and this may be a rude awakening for some people. I don't know. It's a tragedy. It's a travesty. Very sad. Let me just see. So this is from above, after the car's been stopped because of the numbers of people it had run over. Yeah, jamming the wheel. Couldn't go any further. So they're trying to get the car off. It'd be a miracle if nobody died because of the way there was just some that would not have known. But here's the despicable media, desperate to control the narrative and to deflect the narrative, which means the police are the enemy of the people, the media's the enemy of the people, the government's the enemy of the people. They don't care about us, okay? It is absolutely beyond any shadow of a doubt. We are in, the people of this country are in dire straits, and, you know, a majority of people don't even know it, won't agree, won't believe it, and it's just, it couldn't be more true. Now, of course, somebody said here, controlling the narrative, says, these are the only videos that should be shared from Liverpool today. Show some empathy, have some respect. Hope all those involved in the attack on Water Street are safe. So, Nick Pete, whoever the hell Nick Pete is, the commissioner's got, you know, he's got 27,000 followers. I don't know who he is. ET editor, right? He's trying to tell people, oh, we should only be celebrating Liverpool's win. No, that's gone right out the window. Okay? Nobody cares. All anybody cares about are the poor people who were run over by a maniac. So now this is somebody who took a snapshot. It's amazing in today's world of 4K. There's not a clear image of the individual who drove the car. It's so weird, the behavior. There's already been trouble with the car, with the driver, okay? Listen to what's going on here, because this is in the middle of something. So the driver's backing up and beeping the horn, and then drives off intentionally. Not an accident, nothing. It was an on purpose. And of course, don't forget there's Eastern Europeans who are of the same ideology of Islam. Just because the individual may have white skin does not mean he's British. But of course, they're desperate to deflect from the truth. So he's trying to get people to get out of the way. It's a street lined with hundreds of people. Where did he think he was going? What was he doing on that street? How did he get there? I want to know why of course, why weren't all the streets blocked off? How was his car able to get to that street? Is my question. In this day and age, of course, the jihadists using cars as weapons to maim and injure and kill as many people as they possibly can.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Now that's not the one. There's another video of the driver. Hang on. This one.
Hey, Smith! Hey, Smith! Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Do you know what? They've edited this because the driver right after that drives off at speed. So they've edited this to the point where I'll tell you what. Just before he drives off, it's just disgusting. And anybody who covers this up, it's a disgrace. There's somebody trying to claim that's the driver. You know, we don't know. We do know it's not a white British man.
Oh my!
Okay, I'm not going to show that again. I was trying to see the footage. Now look at the way the police behave around the car, right? Watch this. This is protecting the son of a bitch who just ran over a whole load of people, right? They're trying to protect the criminal from, I guess, from a lynching, I suppose, which I guess they have to do. But they're doing it with huge enthusiasm. Watch this. Now, this individual's being put into the van. You still don't catch a glimpse of him. And watch how the police do protection.
Fucking rat, God!
I really want to know what happened to this man here. What happened to him? He's got blood on his hand. It looks like he was tackled. This policeman, it looks like they're entangled. I mean, I don't understand, right? They're so desperate to save the guy. They're more wanting to injure those who are upset. Telling you. Just so those of you who joined, there's been a terrible incident in Liverpool where a jihadist, I'm going to say it right, in my opinion, it looks to me like all the hallmarks of a jihadist who's taken a car and where everybody was celebrating this Premier League win by Liverpool, we have a maniac who's decided to somehow, I don't know how he gets there, but drive through the crowd and run as many people over as he possibly could.
Oh my God! What the fuck?
So there you go. I mean, there's perfect evidence right there of this footage, which seems to be different from before. I don't know how many times he ran over people, because that doesn't look like the same location we just saw with the crowd of people near the car. But as you can see, at this stage here, the car has stopped, right? The vehicle's not moving. It's been stopped, or it stopped for some reason.
Oh my
Right? It
God!
stopped.
What the fuck?
Stopped, and then it accelerates away with the crowd. So please don't try to tell me this was an accident. Anybody who tries to, you'll see it just drive right off and keep on going.
Oh no! What the? Oh my God! Allah! Oh my God! Oh my God! What the fuck? Fucking kill him! Kill him!
But we don't ever see the driver properly. I feel nauseated. It doesn't matter how many times I see this and it makes me sick. The country's under attack. The government is enabling all of this to happen. The police are enabling all this to happen. They turn a blind eye. They are enabling these scumbags, this ideology of death, to flourish. They are assisting this death cult to destroy this country. They're in. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. And again, I'm going to tell you this now, right? I couldn't give a toss about football. I couldn't care less about any sporting event. And all of these people, well, I don't know. Maybe this horrific event will wake them up, give them a wake-up call, and think, who could possibly, how could somebody ever do that on purpose? And the one answer is Islam. That's how. Islamic mindset is where life is worthless and you get more points with the more people you take out. And quite honestly, it doesn't really matter if it's kuffar or not. It doesn't matter. I do. I feel sick. It pisses me off no end. And what is worse, of course, is the cover-up. The cover-up. Which is going to go hell for leather. They're going to do everything they can. Please don't speculate. Please don't this. It's a human nature. I can speculate all I like. I was born, God, I just say I'd live in a free country, but we don't actually live in a free country, technically. Now, this is an eyewitness, and even he, so what he controls what he says. This man was right. His friend got slightly injured by it or brushed away.
Did you see?
But the car comes straight up Dale Street, literally fucking split Dale Street, went straight past us, about 20 or 30 foot behind us. It just stopped, bang, see ya. It literally went past that. It hit me mate on the side, his leg, on the way past. But we just about got out of the way of it.
Was it Dale Street that they said that was? I thought they said it was another street. I think there was more than that. I'll look at something in a minute.
Did it look like it was being done on purpose?
I don't know.
See? Oh, I don't know. Don't know if it was being done on purpose. They won't. Of course it was bloody done on purpose. Ever before the Nice lorry where they drove down the seafront and just took everybody out. Never before. It's in Germany, how many times they've had the jihadists use the car as a weapon. And people still can't get themselves to say, well, of course he did it on purpose. Certainly was not an accident. But no, he can't. Look at him. He's in a bit of shock, I must admit. I can't be too hard on him.
It just flew. We had no idea. This car just flew through, straight up past into the crowd. I don't know. I didn't know whether it was in control or out of control, but it didn't zoom.
And what were people doing? What were the people doing, just running away from it?
People were just diving out the way. They didn't realise what was going on. It split the crowd. As people walking down Dale Street, it just split the crowd.
Dale Street.
I don't really.
He's obviously had a few beers, right? He's obviously had a few beers and he's in a bit of shock. So, can't really believe what he saw. So, I'm not going to give him too much of a hard time.
You know what happens after that? It went behind us 20 or 30 foot and just finally stopped. And after that, I don't know.
Did you see anyone hurt?
No. It went behind us and we carried on to get away from it. So I don't know, and I hope not. But there you go. I don't know. I really don't.
Do you know what? He didn't even bother to see who was hurt, right? He just got out of the way. Car went, and he just... I mean, seriously, that's disgusting. I have no sympathy for this man. So, here we go. An hour after the incident, the police are already issuing the suspect's race, right? When a violent black rewound and murdered 3 young girls, the police hid the race and identity for weeks. The establishment hates white people. It's that simple. So, here's the blurb, right? Do not speculate. Don't speculate. Merseyside Police statement in full. We've just reported an update from Merseyside Police that a 53-year-old white British man has been arrested. I'm telling you, right? If the individual's white, it's Eastern European with a British passport, who's of a Muslim religion. That's my guesstimate, and I can guess as much as I like. Okay, try telling me I can't guess. People have just been cucked way too much. Here's the full statement from their spokesperson. We would ask people not to speculate on the circumstances surrounding tonight's incident on Water Street in Liverpool city centre. So see, he said Dale Street. You know what? I said there were 2 locations. I said there were 2 locations. I'm going to show you some footage that I saw where I thought I could see it was 2 streets. But they're just making out that it was Water Street. But that eyewitness said Dale Street, right? We can confirm the man arrested is a 53-year-old white British man from the Liverpool area. They even know he's in Liverpool. It's disgusting. Extensive inquiries are ongoing to establish the circumstances leading up to the collision. We would ask people not to share distressing content online, but just blah, 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 right? Whatever. So he said Dale Street.
Did it look like it was being done on purpose?
I don't know. It just flew. We had no idea. This car just flew through, straight up past into the crowd. I don't know. I didn't know whether it was in control or out of control, but it didn't do.
And what were people doing? What were the people doing? Just running away from it?
You know, people were just diving off the way. They didn't realise what was going on. It split the crowd. As people walking down Dale Street, it just split the crowd.
Dale Street, right? He said Dale Street. Now, I'm going to show you this footage I saw. I saw there was a helicopter flying over the scene. Let me just find it because I thought I could see that. Get ready. Detective Chief Inspector based Amy of the Yard. Let me show you the aerial footage. Hang on. Here we go. Here we go. Watch this. Watch this. Ready? Yep. Look at this. Right? Here's a street here. You see ambulance, fire, right there. Explain this one. Get ready for this. Helicopters flying by. There's definitely an ambulance blocking the road, and there's flashing lights. And then we have another street where there's more emergency vehicles. So, what the hell went on? How far was he driving? I bet we'll never get the story. Right? There you go. That's it. So one of them's Dale Street. Look at that. Right, there we go. Without any shadow, there's one street there, and there's another street there. But the impression we're getting is that it was a very short stretch of road, and we saw a whole number of people getting ploughed into. So, look, you know, it's normal to speculate, to sort of try and figure things out, but I'm going to say he probably drove up one of these roads, went along, and then drove down that one. there you go. 2 roads. Anyway, I pray that nobody died.
I just want to bring you a statement that's just come in from Liverpool Football Club, in which they say we are in direct contact with Merseyside Police regarding the incident on Water Street, which happened toward the end of the trophy parade earlier.
See? No Dale Street, Water Street. So, there you go. They're already covering up the offence. 1 street, they've missed out.
This evening. Our thoughts and prayers are with those who have been affected by this serious incident. We will continue to offer our full support to the emergency services and local authorities who are dealing with this incident. Well, on set with me still now is Rob Harris, our sports correspondent, who's obviously been following this story, and it's been a very busy day for you up until this incident occurred. Now attention's turning away from the sport, and exactly what has happened.
Yes, this is a day of parades across the country. I've been at the ones in London, extensive policing operations, just a reminder of just how significant events that these are, and significant in the city of Liverpool, a day of celebration, winning the Premier League title, turning into one.
Okay, so GB News, sorry Kaz, 10112, you're watching GB News? The eyewitness, it might be that same bloke, but I'm telling you now, right? I'm covering this mainly, everybody. I had different plans for tonight, but this has taken precedence now. Which one is it? Is it Patrick Christie?
And with, of course, today being a day of celebration for Liverpool.
Was a deliberate ramming attack? That we don't know at this stage.
Yeah, exactly. Look, Mark, thank you.
Okay, do you want me to start from the beginning here? Have we got an eyewitness? I don't know. Kaz, can you tell me where the eyewitness was?
They are not at all cooperative, and it can...
The floor by police. They appear, as you say, to administer a pepper spray to his face. His hands are blooded, and a police van completely surrounded by furious Liverpool fans. The irony being, Mark White, this police officers may well have saved this driver's life.
Oh my God, they're trying to make out that the bloke on the pavement was the driver. Do you see what they did? Oh my God. They're making out that it was that bloke, but they already shoved the bloke into the van. What?
The floor by police. They appear, as you say, to administer a pepper spray to his face. His hands are blooded, and a police van completely surrounded by furious Liverpool fans. The irony being, Mark White, this police officers may well have saved this driver's life.
Well, yes, I mean, a very angry crowd there. I could hear on some of the video people shouting, you know, not just stop him, but, you know, kill him. And understandably, people very enraged at what they were seeing there. I should say I've got this statement in full from Merseyside Police.
He didn't
saying
panic.
We would ask people not to speculate.
Oh, we can speculate. So the news can speculate. The news can speculate, but what? Nobody else is allowed to? How dare they tell us what to do? They don't mind jumping to conclusions. I'm telling you now, that bloke was the... Okay. I'm going to go back to that in a minute.
The circumstances surrounding tonight's incident
But we'll
on
speculate.
Water Street in Liverpool city centre, we can confirm, as Jack was alluding to before, that a man arrested as a 53-year-old white British man from the Liverpool area. Extensive inquiries are ongoing to establish the circumstances leading up to the collision.
I'll show you who it is. This is a bloke who was on the ground. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. I can believe they've done that. They've done it. They've absolutely they're going to stitch this bloke up who had probably nothing whatsoever to do with it, right? Let's see. Where is he? On the ground. Where is he? I showed him. Here. Watch. Here we go. Now watch this, okay? Let me just quickly show you this. This is what the bloke... So right now, here's a police van. They just shoved up the person who did it into the van right there, right? And then the camera's going to pan round. He's in there. Now we pan round and we're looking at this guy on the ground. So they're pinning it on this bloke who's on the ground, who was probably a bystander, who was probably upset, maybe somebody he knew got hit, and he got tackled to the ground by the police. Can you believe that? So there you go. See? He's in the van, guys. Watch carefully, okay? I want you to watch this carefully, because this is what's happened. I believe that I've seen... Thankfully, I've grabbed all the footage I can, because we probably won't see this again. Or maybe we will, maybe we won't. But they're bundling the man into the van right now. Right here. Right here. He's between this bloke and this one. Here he is there. Right there. Right? That's him there. Being shoved into the van. These people are all wanting to get to the van. So that's obviously the culprit. Right? Obviously the culprit. And this guy just happens to be a bystander. And look at this policeman, who enthusiastically, no doubt, tackled him to the ground. So I'll bet you this guy's getting the blame. That's disgusting. Okay, put a 1 in the chat if you agree with my take on this. They're going to blame him. That's why they're saying 53-year-old white man. He's the one on the ground. God knows what was going on, because he's got his legs wrapped around him. But I'm saying he was probably going to the van to try and get the bloke, and the policeman probably tackled him and pepper sprayed him. And he's on the ground. He probably hurt his hand being tackled to the ground. Meanwhile, they bundled the driver into the van. And, you know, I say, if this bloke had done it, then all the people around would have been trying to kick his head in. So it's absolutely... Wow, look what the media have done. Absolute scumbags. And he's all very distressed. This policeman here is screaming at the top of his voice for people to get back. Yeah. Wow. People take their anger out on the person responsible. Anyway, not doing that one. So, the crowd who yanked the driver out of the car will say, yeah, of course. I'm saying, don't forget, you can have white Eastern European Muslims. They don't all have to be of a darker skin. Kosher ham sandwich. Funny how many yellow jackets you see after it is all over, then were present during the parade. How many yellow jackets did it take? Yeah. Secure an unoccupied vehicle. Bloody hands made. Well, he probably heard his hand fall into the ground because he was tackled down to the ground. I just can't believe that with all the people around, that not a single individual managed to get a picture of the car. And guess what? This was done. I don't know if this wasn't today. Look at that. See, somebody's posted this now. And it's from August 3rd, 2024, where Muslim Dawa stupid tent was knocked down. So, look, 53-year-old white British man. Here's the person in the car. That's not the bloke who's on the ground. And they've cut that off. Anyway. Where is the footage where the car drives off? Oh, of course, we had the pro-Palestine, but that wasn't today either. That wasn't, because it's sunny in Liverpool, so that couldn't have been today. Look at the weather. So he'd already been driving up one road, and he came down another road to do this part. So he had, goodness knows how many people have been hit. And here's the Macron getting... Oh, he's off. So anyway, in other news, of praying for all, please, pray. I I pray to goodness they survived. And I'm not showing the footage where there's a woman who's trapped under the car. Her leg did move, so she was alive, but it'd be an absolute miracle if nobody died. So horrible. Anyway, I'll be probably giving more information on Wednesday, but I can tell you now that there'll be all kinds of, well, we know they're going to tell us, they're going to lie. The media's going to lie. They're going to try and push it on a white bloke. Never does an Englishman, would an Englishman ever, who was not a convert to Islam, could ever cause that. Would never drive just through people, because we value life too much. English people do. Islam doesn't. Islam treats a life, they think of, it's bizarre, and it's very hard for people to get their heads around. But this mouse would be as the same. They could treat this computer thing the same way they can to a human body. You see what they do to the human body, because they have no feeling. And this is obviously the ones who are particularly violent. But anyway, so here's Macron. I don't know. He landed in Vietnam with his other half, and as the plane door opened, his other half gave him a face push. I mean, it wasn't a punch. Come on. It was a chin shove with the palm of the hand. Oh, how embarrassing. Oh, 2 hands, actually. It was 2 hands. Anyway, there's a better picture than that from slightly further away. Let me see if I have it. Oh, I've got so much on the bloody jab. Right, don't worry, don't look at my video, because I've got a lot about the jab, which I'm not going to do now because of what's been said, what's happened in Liverpool. Do you know what? We are so under the cosh with the whole fake news. We really are. It is so hard. There's the here it is. Here's footage from further away. This is more, the other one you couldn't tell. Here it is, right here from a distance. Anyway, Amy, okay, Kosher Ham Sandwich says, Amy, here in the States, the top news articles don't even mention Liverpool. Google completely silent. Oh, thank you, Kosher Ham Sandwich. Yeah, they won't. They don't want to talk about it. Now, okay, so please remind me, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the show, for a completely different take on our history and our world, I have a quite an amazing video to play for you, which is this America is Israel, which I had heard before, but this is an 8-minute video, which is very fascinating. Let's see, what time is it? I might do that. XRP, baby. Florida proposes law to eliminate capital gains tax on XRP. Hello, XRP, baby. I'll tell you what, I see this thing with the football. I'm so disgusted with the men of England and the women of England who think that football is important rather than the future. The state of this country is in an absolute mess because too many people aren't bothered. All right? This is a good one. Here's President Trump. Bruce Springsteen apparently is in Europe, bad-mouthing President Trump, making terrible speeches, and so Donald Trump reposted this meme that was made, which never gets tired, never gets boring. President Trump also did the commencement speech at West Point yesterday. He didn't this time shake everybody's hand like he did a few years ago. It's Memorial Day in America today.
Every cadet on the field before me should savor this morning, because this is a day that you will never, ever forget. You could have done anything you wanted. You could have gone anywhere. You could have gone to any school. This is one of the hardest schools to get into. Instead of sports teams and spreadsheets and software, you chose a life of service. The job of the U.S. Armed Forces is not to host drag shows, to transform foreign cultures, but to spread democracy to
I'm going to say, you know, I have a real problem, okay, with the caps. Has the headwear always been Fourth Reichy with this Gestapo style peak, you know, tip, like a... Has it... I didn't know it was always that way. I thought it was flatter. That design is a bit off-putting for me ever since I've discovered what I've discovered about the Fourth Reich and who's really in charge. But I just don't remember them being that shape before.
Everybody around the world at the point of a gun. The military's job is to dominate any foe and annihilate any threat to America, anywhere, anytime.
What's happened to my Rumble channel? Oh God, that's horrible.
West Point cadets don't just have the brightest minds, you also have the bravest hearts and the noblest souls. You're amazing people. I could not be more proud to serve you as...
Wow, what have they done to my Rumble channel? What's going on? Sorry, I've interrupted President Trump, but... What is up with the Rumble? What have they done to me? I've been sort of pixelated. That's the Rumble channel. Well, what's going on there? Well, that's weird. Oh, what's happened now? I can't do it. What's going on with my screen now? Oh, there I am. I'm back again. I don't know what that was. No, I'm pixelated again. Rumble isn't working very well, but thank you for those of you who are in Rumble. Please do hit the thumbs up. I'm going to close that tab. Kosher Ham Sandwich says that headgear looks more peaked than those worn by the cadets. More, yeah, that's more World War II style, isn't it? Yeah, the cadets have got a bit more. It still looks a bit, you know.
People, I could not be more proud to serve you as your commander-in-chief. Each of you continues down the same hallowed path walked by titans and legends of U.S. military lore. America's Army has never failed us, and with leaders like the West Point class of 2025, the Army will never fail.
Oh. By the way, that's a ridiculous hat style that the boss has with that weird peak. But anyway, what was really nice, I'll say, a very pleasant story that was told during the commencement, which I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I just listened to some of it. And apparently, well, not apparently, one of the cadets whose great-grandfather, grandfather, father, mother, everybody in the family went to West Point. I think it's either the great-grandfather or the grandfather's ring, class ring. Part of it was smelted down along with, I don't know how they got hold of the rings of the people. And they smelted them down and made them into this year's class ring. I'm not very good at telling the story. It's okay if you get the details right, but look, basically it is the former cadet or former serving soldiers class ring from West Point was smelted down. Not one. Obviously, you can't make 1,000 rings with one. I mean, that would be, talk about bloomin'... Oh, I can't even remember the name of the bloody... What is it when they deal with metal? Oh, man. I'm having a few brain freezes tonight. Right, was that it? I'm not doing Israel. Not doing that nonsense. There's the face shmush. The shmush. Oh, George Floyd 5 years ago. Who cares? The druggy. Okay, listen. What I'm going to do tonight, actually, because that was really, really tough. Smelting. They smelted, but it was, what is it when they, with the gold, whether the scientists, there's like a physicist with precious metals, way back when, and I can't even remember the name. I don't even know what the first letter is. Well, and if somebody gets it, I'm going to be very impressed. The covers have always been that way. Okay. Marine covers for dress blues are flatter. Rumble sucks bad. It's a veteran hat. Okay. Oh, I can't remember. It's like the magic of metals back in the day. Anyway, I'm gonna play two things now. Right. Alchemist. Oh, thank you. It was A. I should have said it was A. Well done. Well done, Wayne. Wayne the Pain got it. Top of the class. All right, so we're going to play two videos now. To be fair, I haven't watched... I'm not doing the PSYOP. I haven't watched this one. This is Hidden History of Central Park. There's two videos I thought were... Two things I thought were looking quite interesting, just to completely change the topic, because it's been very disturbing today with this one here, which is 8.5 minutes long. I'm going to do this one. Service academies have always been political. To get in, you have to court a congressman. Well, to be honest with you, my dear father was a naval officer. He went to Annapolis, and there was nothing had to be done to get him to get into the academy. It just so happened that my grandfather worked at Portsmouth shipyard and connections 1, 2, and 3. But there was no. You have to be given a recommendation or something by a congressman. That's right. But there was no money changed hands or anything else for my dad to get into Annapolis. May he rest in peace. Anyway, let's do this. Here we go. I'm going to play this and then I'll be back. I found this fascinating. And just remember this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to put it out there and say that I would say that 99%, and I know it's a high percentage, but I at this point in time, I genuinely feel that 99% of what, I'm going to say me, what I understood, what I was told to be history and historical fact before my time. I know what happened during my time, and even that was twisted, but before my time, I don't believe it's true, any of it. I believe all of history, all of the events in the past have been manipulated and molded into the narrative of those in power. And as we're going to see, as I've seen, the last 8 years, I have discovered more about this world and what really is going on and what did go on. And I feel much more clear with what has been suggested has happened than what I've been told with the history books and the history teachers and all the rest of it. So let's just see this. This is quite fascinating. All right. This, and again, I don't know if it's true. I don't know. It just is a very interesting theory. So this is posted by the Rubber Duck, and he says, or she says, America is Israel. I don't know if Rubber Duck is this man here, but I'm going to take me out of the picture. I'll make this larger and just let Rubber Duck, or whoever that is, have the floor. Wait a minute, can you hear me okay? Am I coming out all right? Oh, I'm going to turn my volume up. My apologies, ladies. I didn't realise my mic was... It looks like my mic was a bit on the low side. My apologies, but nobody told me that. All right, let me just adjust. I'm going to remove me, and we'll have this for 8.5 minutes. I don't think I can get this bigger, though.
Alright, so if America is the Holy Land, then where would have Solomon stayed? Because I showed in my last video how Asher Levi, got brought here on a merchant ship by a man named Jacob and a man named Solomon. Jacob was the father of Levi. Solomon is King Solomon. Solomon, the tribes of Judah, appointed all the Levites in the synagogues. Alright, they left all their common lands, and the priests and Levites moved to Judah. This is in 2 Chronicles. New York State is Judah. That's where they settled when they got off this merchant ship. They got off down near Fort Jay in Manhattan. Okay, they traveled up the Hudson River. It's called the King's Highway. It's one of Solomon's routes. And he got stationed in Albany, New York. Asher did. Asher, who ruled in Judah. That's why you have all the Judah temples in Troy, Albany, Waterville. And I linked all of them, even in New York City, down at the bottom on the right. You can look all these up, but I'm going to walk us through it together. All right, the Knights Templar was also called the Order of Solomon. They didn't just bring the pilgrims here, the Christian pilgrims, they brought the 12 tribes of Israel to America because America is the Holy Land, the Promised Land. All right, so the Knights Templar was the Order of Solomon. That's why you have Schenectady Civics players. That building in Schenectady right there, the first marker at the top where it's lined up to Schenectady, looks like this. On each side, you can see the Freemason marker. All right, that's the Knights Templar Order of Solomon. That's going to be your 33-degree Knight Mason right here, where there's ancient Hebrew on the inside. All right, I zoomed in to see it. All right, that's the Order of Solomon, the Knights Templar, that crest right here in this building. This is the ancient Hebrew seal right here, the 33-degree Knight Mason. That's going to be along the route of the King's Highway. I'm going to show you the King's Highway markers now. Right here, the King's Highway between Albany and Schenectady. The first road to Schenectady began here, near the west gate of Albany. And this is another marker right here on my right. Originally an Indian trail, all right, by fur traders. That's a flat out lie, right? It says this road, this travel route was one of the main routes for more than 2 centuries from the Hudson River, New Jersey to Albany. All right, and this is the signs capital in Albany, the King's Highway. It's right across the street from Fort Frederick, okay? They fortified all the cities in 2nd Chronicles. Solomon's son, Rehoboam, even Asa, when he reigned in Judah, they built fortified cities, fortifications. Right here, Rehoboam fortifies the cities. That's Solomon's son. He built cities of defense in Judah. Later on, priests and Levites moved to Judah. Then you got Asher, who ruled in Judah. He got brought here on the merchant ship when all the priests and Levites moved to Judah. Right? Asher reigns in Judah, and he built fortified cities. Right? That's where you get Fort J. They went up the Hudson River to Fort Frederick, kept going to Fort Ticonderoga, then they went west to Fort Stanwix, Fort Ontario, then they crossed Lake Ontario and they went to Fort Niagara. Because that's all along the King's Highway. Right? And this is the boat they came over on. This is called the St. Catherine or the Pear Broom. This was one of the merchant ships. You can see all the cannons in the side of this ship, okay? This is a French Templar Order of Solomon's ship. It's a merchant ship. Cannoneer is French, okay? Watervliet, New York was another fortified...
Now, just to say, I'm not sure who this young guy is, but I'd love to find out properly. Unfortunately, it doesn't say who he is, but this is fascinating. And, you know, we're going to see about the buildings. Got to see the architecture everywhere in the world. The architecture is mind-blowing, and I'm going to show you some footage after this to just sort of say, look, why are people not asking more questions? Anyway, this is just fascinating, this guy... if anybody knows who he is, because I mean, it says Rubber Duck, but I don't know if it's him. I'll repost this just in case. All right, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm going to carry on. Let him say what he was saying.
Niagara, because that's all along the King's Highway, right? And this is the boat they came over on. This is called the St. Catherine or the Pear Broom. This was one of the merchant ships. You can see all the cannons in the side of this ship, okay? This is a French Templar Order of Solomon's ship. It's a merchant ship. Cannoneer is French, okay? Watervliet, New York was another fortified city in Albany. Right? Here's the city hall. You can see it got bricked over and fortified. Those are ancient seals underneath the top. This is home to the oldest active arsenal in the country. This is my hometown where I'm from. I'm a Watervliet Cannoneer. I graduated. I was captain of my football team. I'm a Cannoneer. Right? We're also known as the City of Bells because we put out over 65,000 bells to have them taken out. They were all second editions when the cities got fortified. These are not Tartarian bells. These are Templar bells. They were used in defense systems for the city. Right? Watervliet, nicknamed the Arsenal City, is gaining traction as the City of Bells, recalling more than 65,000 bells. All right? We poured the Liberty Bell that's in Philadelphia in the capital right now. We made that bell. And that's when the lands got fortified by star forts. Solomon and the Order of the Knights Templar built all the star forts. Right? This is Fort J down in the city where they first landed in Manhattan. Then they went up the Hudson River to Fort Frederick. Right, here's Fort Frederick in Albany. It's no longer here, but I got the city plan of it. This was a star fort. Right where the King's Highway is, and they kept going north till they got to Fort Ticonderoga. You can see again how there's all cannons stationed at each of those points. Right, the Watervliet Cannoneer, they were the French Templars who made this. Here's one of their arsenals where they make Buster bunker bombs now and weapons for warfare. Then they went east to Stanwix. This is another star fort, fortified cities. Because they went west right here, right? Then they went west and went to Fort Ontario. Right? They followed the water. They went west to Fort Ontario. They got on the water in the lake and went to Fort Niagara. That's why you have part of Lake Ontario right here with the Star Fort and then the plan for Fort Niagara right here. I have the military blueprints of these forts. Right? You see right here? This is from the military library. These are Paris. That's France, all right? Military architecture for Essex. We have Essex County in New York State, right? These are the blueprints with all the degrees and angles, French manuscripts of fortifications. These were built by the Templar, the Order of Solomon. Just like all the cathedrals were, that's why you have that geometry compass at the top, because they are all the Order of Solomon, the Knights Templar. They built your cathedrals also. These are the blueprints from Cottesloe Military Library, right? So I just showed them getting off the boat, how they traveled, all the star forts from the fortifications. I showed how the priests and Levites moved to Judah. Now I'm going to show you all the Judah temples. Starting from the top of the list on the right, I'm going to work my way down. So this is the Rensselaer County Courthouse in Troy, right, with the Judah lions on the front, right? That's a Judah lion. Next would be Proctor's Theater in Troy with another Judah lion. Those are the house crests of David at the top, the family houses. They're on every doorway and arch going into this building. All right, these are family house names right here. This is somebody's family. After that's the Ilium building in Troy. This is all upstate New York, right? It has the Morningstar Center sign on the inside, right at the top, if you can see it in the middle window. Has Judah lions on every single arch going in. Those are giant door knockers right here. I showed in one of my videos, they move. Right, now we're making our way down the list. This is down in the city, New York City's public library with another Judah statue. Right, then you got the police building in New York City that has two Judah lions on each side of the doorway. Right, here's the lion from the street view.
Oh, thanks,
and you got the Congregation of Israel temple right here, above the doorway right here. It's Hebrew with two Judah lions and the original 10 Commandments carved into it. Right? And I showed Jesus' crucifixion in Fort Golgotha in my last video, so if you want to see all that, just go to that video. Because in the same area, Peter would have later gave a speech in the porticos of Solomon, right? So that had to have been in the same area, and that would have been in Albany and Troy, where Asher got appointed. I'm going to show you Asher's synagogue also. Right, it says Asher's synagogue, temple, Bethel Jacob. His father was Jacob. This is in Albany right here. It's also found in Troy, New York. Same place where St. Peter's Church is depicted, because this is a bricked over fortified structure that was one of the Templars' healing centers. Right, this is the view right here. This across the street, that's Peter's Hall. Now I made a video on this building right here, the side windows right here. That's the Tibetan Trikaya, the Asian symbol for a trinity. And who did Peter write to? The Christian pilgrims, not only from Asia, okay, they were the tribes of Israel, because they got brought here during 2nd Chronicles to New York State, which is Judah.
Wow. You know, and the thing is, right, I'm just finding it very. I find it, so that's on. I retweeted that. I have to see. Wait a minute. Let me just first of all, before I go on to the next thing, let me just see if this is. Is this him? Oh, 146,000. Oh, okay. I am following him already. Red Pill. All right, the Rubber Duck 79 at the Rubber Duck 79. This looks like a very fascinating channel here. Ooh, the rubberduck.net. Okay, this is, oh man, as if I don't have enough. Oh wait, is this just, okay, Red Pill. Okay, it looks like just merch. Right, that was merch. Okay, so it looks like Rubber Duck. Here's the deep underground military bases, the mines, military bases. So this individual seems to do a deep dive. So I'll have to take a look at that afterwards. Anyway, so what I want to say, right, the whole history thing, and this, by the way, was given to me in the Foxhole link from the Jewish perspective by Yair David, and So this is the history, I think. This is fascinating. You know, I used to hate ancient history. I used to find it really boring. But I'm telling you now, I want to know what the hell happened. So this is from a Jewish perspective, right? I guess he goes over the geography and the history. 13 American colonies in 1775. Thank you for that in Foxhole. I'm going to copy that and put it in the DLive link. Very interesting. I like this kind of stuff. I prefer this than trying to figure out what's going on today. Kosher Ham Sandwich said you never heard this story and you thought you'd been down all the rabbit holes. Well, thank you for this link. I'm going to check that one out later. But what I want to show you, okay, is over the weekend there's protests in England. You know, it was called the Great British National Strike, and I mean, it really obviously was not a Great British National Strike. It was quite a lame, you know, production from in today's where protests go. Not impressive, but you know, better than nobody. But what struck me is this KC Imageworks filmed the so-called protest in Liverpool. And what struck me on looking at this footage was the architecture. Look at the size of the people sitting on the steps. And look at the size of these columns in Liverpool. Right?
I don't know who these are.
I have got little...
is that the protest and then next to us the counter-protest?
Tinker, you alright down there? You okay, baby?
Oh, look who it is. Look who's walking towards me.
Look.
Bilbo Moore.
Look at the lamps, right? Look at the street lamps, the architecture. I'm not really fussed about the guy who was filming because, of course, it was all very strange. People are very strange. Look at that building there. Honestly, every city in England, the lions, statues, the columns in the back there, London, everywhere we have this incredible architecture. In Scotland, all like this, and you have it in America, all around America. And it was sort of, I want to know about the cobblestones. How did they do the cobblestones? Who made the cobblestone streets and why? So, you know, I say the scale of it just blew me away. These columns are ridiculous. I mean, doesn't that look like Rome, like the Colosseum or the Parthenon or something? I mean, the National Gallery in London, but this is huge. The scale of this is gigantic. Those were the the people sitting on the steps were the opposition to the Patriots. They were just waiting for the Patriots to show up. These were stand up to racisms on this side. Look at him, Mr. Happy here, Mr. Lefty Lunatic, just scumbags. Very half-hearted. Refugees, right? No, they're not. No, they're not welcome here. No. I wish we could deal with this funding. I wish we could cancel the funding for this crap. Anyway, that being said, where was I? Yeah, they were just waiting for the people who were protesting, which was the Great British Strike. The Great British Strike. Right. So this is it's what it is people fed up with the mass illegal migration, the complete screwing over of the English people, everything about, what is it? I'll show you what it was. So this was this weekend, right? And you had the two opposing groups. This lot who were just, it had nothing to do actually. It wasn't focusing on the illegal migrants, okay? It was pretty much on the government's running of the country, or not, into the ground. It was called the Great British Strike, which I must admit I was very skeptical about it. The Great British National, well, they call it protest now, but they did call it a strike, which is a bit odd. 21,000 followers, which is quite a number. Oh, wait a minute. This is... going back to the Liverpool thing. Please go. So this happened over the last weekend. I mean, of course, the people of the Chagos Islands, which, to be honest with you, had I heard of them? I mean, we had the Great British National Strike protest, and we have a bigger turnout from those from the Chagos Islands, who Keir Starmer just gave away to Mauritius or some such place the other week, as you do. And there was a protest by some Chagosans. I have no idea. Never seen that flag before in my life. All news to me. But they managed to hijack the Great British National Protest. Well done to them. Newcastle Monument, you've got the English flags, British flags, and Patriots. And they're all kind of confused by being called racists. Yeah, there's a turnout in different cities. And it was, I'm trying to find the label. But it's probably too far down the feed to find it for what was going on Saturday. What was called to go on Saturday around the country. That's horrible. I was just looking for the banner, but yeah. Let's see. I'm still looking for it. Yeah. Oh, that's close. That was close to the banner. I think I might find it in a moment. Don't look at the screen because you'll get sick. Glasgow. Where's the... Those were all the locations that it was being held all around the country. Many places were left out, but anyway. Just saying. I looked at some footage. I did go into Brighton to see if there was anything going on there, but nothing. No, nothing. Now, Maya Tusi has done a video about the jihadist attack in Liverpool today, and he's got some footage that I hadn't seen. Just see what this is.
Let's go to...
Oh, I did see this, and I want to show... Look. Again, I've come back to Liverpool because this happened at about 6 o'clock this evening in Liverpool, where all the fans and the Liverpudlians were lining the streets of Liverpool to celebrate the stupid football club's winning of the Premier League, is it? I don't even know which league it is. There's so many leagues. But here, this is the point at which the car had been surrounded and people are trying to get to the driver. So this is a very odd scene that's one person captured, right? So it looks like pepper spray had been utilised because this, either pepper spray or they were crying, these people around the car. No, he's crying. No, he's crying. So the back window's smashed, right? And for some reason, so the camera goes sideways. And I have a feeling that the person's still in the car. Where is he? Wait a minute. No, he isn't. No, he isn't. No, he isn't. It's all right. You know, he's out. So we've got a policeman in the car now. Wait a minute. Does that look like there's somebody there? My eyes are playing tricks on me here. No. He's been dragged out or something. Isn't it amazing how... It looks like somebody's punching something there. Here. Maybe punching the car. In that window. Here's a policeman getting in the car. No. Yeah, I thought somebody was there, but it's not. Oh, then it looks like there's somebody right there, but it's not. It's just my eyes playing tricks on me. There's no way he'd still be in the car by then.
Fuck me. Wow.
Oh.
Everyone all nice.
Oh. Thank you, Family Low.
hell, mate. What the fuck? Wow. Oh, no way. No way. What the fuck? Shit. Wow, I need to get on it, guys. Fucking hell. What the fuck? Wow. Wow, some absolute knobhead here. It's just come through the fucking top. What an absolute cunt. Literally, just fucking literally ripped through everyone. Just drove through the lot. What's that all about? Wow. Wow, no way, mate. I swear down.
Was this person trying to...
Wow.
You know, that there's... Now, he should be left on the ground, and it looks like she's pulling him up.
Absolute knobhead here. It's just come through the fucking top. What an absolute cunt.
I hate that
Literally,
word.
just fucking literally ripped through everyone. Just drove through the lot. What's that all about? Wow.
She's pulling him up. She shouldn't be moving him. This stupid woman is pulling this bloke upwards. She could kill... Oh.
Wow, no way, mate. I swear down. What an
Anyway, it's horrible. It's horrible. I will see... Yeah, we couldn't copy that architecture today. Anyway, you know, praying for the people. I'm praying that nobody died and that the injuries aren't life-threatening, and that, you know, that the media, well, they will cover it up. We know that. We know they cover it up. It's a foregone conclusion. The media is the enemy of the people. They lie, they twist, they fabricate a lot. I don't really want to talk about the Trump thing and Israel and Trump and Russia, because the media do their best to, you know, get between it and have Donald Trump join Ukraine and bombing Russia, World War III. I hope Donald Trump is just messing with them. But I'm just trying to see what the latest is. They're going to probably say the 53-year-old man. Let's see. Man detained after car plows into Liverpool. A man has been detained after a car ploughed into a group of Liverpool supporters near the club's Premier League trophy parade. Footage shared on social media appeared to show a grey, wasn't it black? Ford Galaxy colliding into the crowd of supporters in the city centre. Wait a minute. Wasn't it black? Oh my gosh, have I got the wrong... They've got the car covered. Well, I'll be looking at this very carefully. I'm sure it was black. I can't cope if it was grey. I saw black. Oh my gosh. Don't tell me it's
City
grey.
centre after receiving...
I can't see it. No, it was black. It was black.
Police arrested a 53-year-old man after a car drove into a crowd of people in Liverpool. Thousands of people had filled the streets to celebrate the FC winning English Premier League. Let's go now to Alex Hogan in London with the latest. Alex, what can you tell us?
Hi, Alicia. What a shocking turn of events. What started as a celebration has now turned into an active investigation. Police say one man is in custody after this car collided into crowds of pedestrians around 6 p.m. in Liverpool, the city famed for being the home of the Beatles. Crowds of people had packed the streets earlier today as Liverpool FC, the soccer team, celebrated winning the Premier League title with a 10-mile parade and bus tour through the city. Law enforcement were already out in enforced for crowd control during that parade. Liverpool fans called the massive turnout mind-blowing as thousands of people had packed the streets to celebrate this big win. Authorities say it's when people began to disperse that a car crashed into pedestrians on Water Street. That's a busy street near the Beatles statue.
There you go. So it says Water Street, right? Now let's see if that's the parallel street. You know, say there was two streets. The car went up a couple of streets, the Dale Street and this one. So they've already, I say, they've halved the incident.
Street
made
near
it
the
less.
Beatles statue. Bystanders say that they heard screaming as other people tried to stop the car and smash the car's windows. There's no word yet on how many people were potentially hit or the number of people who are hurt. We do have footage that shows emergency workers wheeling away people in stretchers, other people who are wrapped in foil being tended to by emergency workers. Local police issued a statement saying that the car stopped at the scene and a 53-year-old white man from Liverpool was detained. Emergency workers, police and canines are currently there. They are cornering off that scene. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer responded saying that these...
I'm telling you now, they're going with the white British man. And I'm telling you, I believe they've taken the wrong person. They've taken the bloke who was on the ground and blamed him. And that's how it's going to go. That's going to suit everybody. Nobody's going to correct that. They're going to keep it all under wraps. I wonder if this poor guy's going to get stitched up. Oh no, I can't do this one. I have to do it on my other one. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, do you want me to show you again my theory as to how they've screwed up so badly with regards to who the culprit is and what they've actually done? Does anybody need me to go over that again? But again, it's my theory, and it's something that I believe has happened. I just happened to catch it in real time where they have... Let me just get this back to normal size. They've pinned it on a bystander. I'm shocked, but I shouldn't be because it happens all the time. But I've actually managed to capture where they say a 53-year-old man. Here it is. This is the key video. All right. If anybody wants a video to find out what's going on, I'm telling you now. They're saying a 53-year-old white man. I'm sure it's this is who they're talking about, right? Here. They're going to blame this guy who's on the ground. Not him. Because the bloke who did it is being bundled into the van here. Right? There. Everybody, and again, people want the person who's guilty of a crime to get the punishment. People will take out their anger at the individual who caused the incident. They're all facing the police van. They're all angry because the bloke has just been shoved into the police van who did it. Allegedly. Right? They're all angry, trying to get to the van. Meanwhile, the camera pans around. And this guy here is on the ground, wrestling. This policeman's got him, looks like he's got him in a leg lock. I can't believe it. I mean, like I say, you know, maybe I would suggest, right, that this guy, he could be about 53. He's white and he's on the ground, you know, and he's being detained. But I would suggest that he was probably incensed and he was shoved to the ground by the police and pepper sprayed, because it looks like they've been using the pepper spray, and he injured his hand on the ground. He's not the one, but that's who everybody's going to blame. Wow. Detective Chief Inspector Based Amy, Miss Marple of the Yard. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's show. XRP baby to the moon. I'm really sorry if he gets it, because he's not the one. It wasn't him, my lad. But they desperately want to blame a white man, even though we know that was a jihadist attack. And also, as I pointed out as well, which you probably won't see anywhere else, I sussed that they've cut the crime in literally in half, because 2 streets were involved, as can be seen by this. Is it this one? No, it's not this one. Yes, it is. The aerial footage. I'm just going to again refresh your memories, everybody. understand this. I saw this when I just saw the footage. We have 2 streets here impacted.
A 53-year-old.
So right here, I think that the car he either drove up this way and around and down there, or he drove that way and around and down there, because on this road there appears to be
a 53-year-old white British man has been arrested after a car drove. White British man has.
Now that already looks different. I saw an ambulance across the way. This is a big lorry right there.
White British man has been arrested after a car drove into a crowd of fans celebrating Liverpool's Premier League victory parade. Emergency services, including an air ambulance.
Oh, the videos of the driver and the Liverpool fans have footage. Have you got a link? Oh, he was driving the wrong way down a one-way street, and they were trying to stop him. Wow. Well, he drove down 2 streets. What's very odd is that I saw an ambulance. This is slightly different. This is the Sun. Hang on a second. Super odd is that I saw footage of an ambulance parked across the road. Is this it? Yes, it's this one. Have they already altered it? You see? You have. Do you know what? I tell you, anytime I hear of something, I have to find the footage and I have to grab it, because what happens, because of the narrative, because of the propaganda media, they edit, they clip, and they hide. So here, with this aerial footage, you can clearly see there are 2 streets involved. There's an ambulance blocking that road on the side. There's emergency vehicles up here and here. And then we have the next road over, another load of vehicles. We had the eyewitness who said Dale Street. Now, I'm going to have to look at Google Maps to see if this is in fact Dale Street, because the man, older guy, who said the car zoomed past them, right? 2 streets. So it was bigger than the media will say. That's my take anyway. Well, no, it's not my take, because the eyewitness that I showed you, he said Dale Street, and this is saying Dale Street, but the other people are saying, I think they called it Water Street or something. Right? So there you go. 2 streets. But they won't say. Oh, it's so sad. Oh, Woo Radio, know people who were there. Revenge said CGI already. Alright. I know, I keep on going on about this. Wayne the Pain, are you off or something? You give me lots of lovely gifts. Have I gone off air or something on D Live? Alright, so again, 2 streets involved, Dale Street and another street, which is this street, where the vehicle had to stop because this one, and it's black, it's a black vehicle, it's not grey. All the details are being twisted. It's a black one, black vehicle, and it had to stop because there were bodies were stacked under it. He'd run over this whole crowd of people, and they were all, unfortunately, jammed his car to make him stop. He didn't stop by choice. It was because he couldn't drive any further because the bodies had jammed in the way. Anyway, I must go. I'm sorry. I'm passionate about the truth and facts. Okay? And I just hate nothing being lied to. Now, before I finish, I will, let me just see. Black woman, I want to get that eyewitness here.
The car comes straight up Dale Street.
Dale Street.
Literally fucking split Dale Street and straight past us, about 20 or 30 foot behind us. It just stop, bang, see ya. But literally went past that, it hit me, mate.
So Dale Street, and then they said Water Street. See? Water Street. See that? This says Water Street. It doesn't say Dale Street. And there's two different streets. So let me just see. Right, this official narrative says Water Street in Liverpool city centre. So I'm going to take a look at Google Maps and see. I'll bet you the two streets are parallel to each other. Dale Street. I'm going to do it now, just because I want to get it on record before it. I might be wrong. But where is it? Wait a minute, where's Dale Street? Liverpool. Let's see. I don't want that. Where's Dale Street? Water Street. What's this one? That's the Strand. Maybe it's not Dale. Where's Dale Street then? Oh, where's Dale Street? Oh. Okay, it's the same street. There you go. Well, that's weird. So it's Dale Street and it changes it to Water Street. So he must have been going, I guess, the wrong way up the street. Who knows? But there was definitely something going on one street over. Very interesting. Because explain it to me, please. I don't understand that there. Yeah, look. Here's the helicopter panning over. And there's definitely ambulance across. Fire engine. Another big vehicle there. Down this street. And then well, you think that's happening there, but it's here. Another one. So, that's very weird. Alright. Very odd. So, it wasn't an accident. He went so far along the road. So, he started in Dale Street and carried on all the way up the road. So, nobody can claim it was an accident. It was an on purpose. Absolutely disgusting. Aloha snack bar. There's only one who does that. There's only one ideology, and it's the Islamic one. That is it. No other one does it. Christians don't do it. Hindus don't do it. Jews don't do it. It's only Muslims, and that's not religion anyway. All right, so let's, on the way out, ladies and gentlemen, on this Monday night, bank holiday, we're going to look at the, on a lighter note, we're going to look at the market cap. It's just at $3.42 trillion. XRP's at 231. Bitcoin's at 109,399. There's a lot of XRP news. I mean, it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. It's really quite, it's getting so loud. And we have the Genius Act going back to the Senate. It's going to sail through. And then we have, what am I looking at? X. And then we have, well, the big beautiful bill, which is going to, oh, hello. Oh, look at that. That's how female gorillas seduce males? Oh, now I know where they get it from. No way. Are you serious? That explains a lot. But I'm not going to go into detail. I'll let everybody else fill in the blanks as to what this reminds me of. The female gorilla shaking her ass. Shaking her ass. President Trump, a U.S. crypto reserve. This was the message he did. Crypto reserve elevate this critical industry after years of corrupt attacks by the Biden administration, which is why my executive order on digital assets directed the presidential working group to move forward on a crypto strategic reserve that includes XRP, SOL, and ADA. I will make sure the US is the crypto capital of the world. We're making America great again. And of course, that was the executive order in 2017. I'm going to get my bookmarks. The war is going to get over in very soon. Now, NFA is going to be doing a new video, which I can't wait. And he said, and it's a banger. This is what I look forward to, okay? Birdshot Island is coming my way, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be on Birdshot Island, and we're going to get away from all of this hell. Donald Trump and the Bearable Guy 123. Not financial advice. Looking forward to the video. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to try and find a guy, but we know. I will guarantee you it's Aloha Snack Bar. Quantum Respawn says, hi, Based Amy. Just dropping by to say hi. Working on more music for my first ever medieval album. I also go live on FH. Quantum Respawn. Oh, that sounds fascinating. Oh, it's Aquaria. Hello, Aquaria. Dozens of casualties. Kosher just asked me if I could zoom in on the emergent vehicles on both streets. It appears to be on the identical location of the block on both streets. Turns into water. Very interesting. I'll try and... What I'm going to try and do for when... What day is it today? Monday. I will attempt to see if I can... I've got that video on my other feed. I've got so many tabs open now. It's not funny. Very not funny. But we're going to take a look at XRP. XRP, here we go. Dubai launches real estate tokenization platform on XRP Ledger. Yeah, baby. NASA's fake. Weird, I got an entry there. Japan just dropped a MAGA anime cartoon. No, I'm not doing that. No, no. Jib jab, no. No. Macron. Look at that, can't get much skinnier. Smacks in the face, face mush. Wrong man's getting arrested and blamed. XRP Ledger has officially integrated a new feature enabling users to execute multiple transactions in a single bundled operation. What? XRP, baby. Right, that's about it. It is. Prayers for all the people injured tonight. Oh, this is a bit bleak. The 2020 world end in 2020. I think I'm going to skip that one. Oh, Kosher Ham Sandwich says, I have a gut feeling there were two vehicles involved. If you zoom in on each of the massing of police emergency vehicles, you may see two. Maybe there was a grey car in the other street. This, Possible terror attack in Liverpool. That disgusting migrant, I hope, has been arrested, who threatened children. Alright, okay, I'm gonna have to do this now. It's not the Sun's video. It's this one. Let's see. We go, and here we come. Right. See, the image is so grainy that you just, there's no way. What people are gonna have to do, look out for, is the footage that's released on social media to see if you can find a grey car and see if there's different footage. You know, that's just too grainy and too unclear for the crowds. I can't see anything properly there. And then obviously this one is the black car there. So we'll see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's show. I know it's been a bit heavy duty. This Memorial Day, it's not been the best news cycle, although it is good for XRP. We're still sitting at 230 in the 230 region, and I will hopefully be back on Wednesday, all being well and good. And I will, if I come up with if I come up with any new theories about what's happening, I will let you know about this horrible jihadist attack in Liverpool against innocent people. So until then, this is another film. Let me just get to my proper scene. Just remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you tolerate this, then your children will be next. And just gonna, before I go, I will just double check the footage. I want to see if there's anybody who is asking any questions before I go. Does anybody have any questions before I go? Let me just
keep up until she's done.
Let me just double check the chat. And right, let me just check. Chat. Right. Right, let me just check. Oh, I'm here. Sorry. Chat. Apologies. I'm just trying to set something up here. But I don't see anybody that I'm wanting to go to, although I'll probably go to that one. So we'll do that. All right, let me just double check. Thank you, Wayne the Pain. Thank you so much for your gifts. Thank you for the information, everybody. I do appreciate your time and attention. We have Wayne the Pain spamming a chat with all those gifts. Christine UK. Yeah, how did the car get down that road? Exactly. Peace and love. Thank you for being here. Honestly, everybody, I really do appreciate your time and attention. Kosher Ham Sandwich, Quantum Respawn, thank you so much. Revenge Deutsche, I'm not sure how to say that. Kaz1012, thank you for your information. Woo Radio, appreciate it. You got sent a video of the SAFs on a roof as well at the incident. One shot fired. It's in your profile. I saw, I did see marksman on the roof of one of the buildings. I didn't see a fire shot, but interesting. Plot thickens. Okay, all right, everybody. I'm going to sign off, and I hope you have a great evening. Happy Memorial Day, and it's goodbye from me. And until the next time, remember, if you tolerate this, then your children will be next. Please stay me out.
Hi and welcome back, guys. Hope you all are having a great day out there. A few very important things I want to put out in this video here today. Educating the masses is what we need to do, because what is coming for the price of XRP is very important to understand based off the facts I'm about to give you. Now, I want to talk to you about a report that came out, what just came out here today, what's happening in the broader market, a lot to put out. But I first want to start in saying Happy Memorial Day to you all, and God bless those that put their lives on the line for you and I in honor of those individuals. God bless you all. Now, guys, if you do like talking about cryptocurrency, you know what to do. Drop an X in the comment section, smash that like button. And if you are new to the channel, click that subscribe button as well. We have a jam-packed one for you. There was recently a new report put out by the G20 on cross-border payments. Who did they highlight? What should the U.S. market be looking at? In this report, and I'm going to link it in the description below, Faster Payments Council put out, who Ripple works with. Of course, they highlight Ripple and XRP. And so as we take a look at what's just recently came out of Dubai and the land department in which they chose Ripple, they have chosen Ripple for real estate tokenization. In fact, 3,000 investors already registered. I want to show you this clip here. It's about a minute, 2 minutes or so, talking about what is happening over in the Middle East, because they are seeing it exactly and they're trying to get in the forefront. I want to play you this and then talk to you about what comes next.
The first asset class that we would like to address is real estate. There's a lot of you have been around Doha in the past 2 days. There's a lot of real estate oversupply in the market, but it also solves a significant problem where there's not enough access into this asset class. If you look at a lot of the towers in West Bay or in Lusail or in any other area in Qatar, a lot of the towers are owned by 1 or 2 or maximum 3 landlords. And, you know, these are significant ticket sizes. You're talking about a minimum of $500 million upwards. So, you know, tokenizing a tower or 2, I think would do great good for the economy and, you know, a lot more access and liquidity to the real estate market. But that's one asset class. I'd like to see as well, you know, Islamic financial products securitized through our corporate registration, bond issuances securitized, perhaps energy infrastructure in the near future. But what I'm saying is, you know, through our laboratory, I would say, which is our corporate registration, we can experiment without, you know, spreading the risk all over the rest of the economy. It'll be a contained environment. If anything goes wrong, then that would be contained within the Qatar Financial Center environment, and the risk would be managed efficiently. So, you know, a lot of assets, I think. We're going to start with real estate, and then we're going to start with financial products as well.
Do you see this as a way to attract foreign investment? You mentioned especially real estate, potentially.
Well, foreign direct investment is one of our objectives. I think what we'd want to see is some local investments in these asset classes to start with, but I think it will definitely give access to a bigger pool of foreign investors tapping into our economy, and then hopefully you'd have some cross-border transactions as well. On harmonization, I think that's a great idea. If we can, I think, you know, if there was any harmonization to happen within the digital asset space, I think the best bet is that it would happen between financial centers, because we're a lot more efficient and swift in terms of amending regulations. I mean, it takes us less than 3 months to set up a financial services regulation and then get public consultation on it and then enact it. So we're pretty swift, and I think the same applies in DIFC and ADGM. So I think between those 3 financial centers, if we can come to a common arrangement where, you know, digital assets and certain financial services products can passport into each other, I think that could definitely be achieved rather than a larger passporting mechanism for the entire GCC, which could happen, but I think